Man, this is something else. So I'm watching this episode of Barney Miller, Barney Miller on FETV, right? FETV, and this episode came on entitled Doomsday. Now check this out, Doomsday, right? And this episode aired on September 11th, 1975, right? Now, what is September 11th known for? 2001. That's the day that the trade centers was imploded, right? So check this out. Now, if you don't know about the show Barney Miller, it's one of those comedy shows that aired, first came to prominence in the 70s, 1970s, right? And it's a very funny show. And every now and then on that show, they'll put in what they call conspiracy theories, right? Anyway, check this out, right? So this episode entitled Doomsday aired on September 11th, 1975. So when I saw that, right, on my television, I said, wait a minute, September 11th, 1975? Is there a connection between that and 9/11? Now check this out. I typed in Google, funny, there was a Barney Miller episode aired on September 11th, 1975. AI Overview came back with this. Yes, that's correct. The Barney Miller episode, Doomsday, Doomsday, Season 2, Episode 1, premiered on September 11th, 1975. And by the way, that sitcom, it's about a police precinct in New York, to be exact, in Manhattan. Okay? So keep that in mind. The same city where the Twin Towers was once located, right? Now listen to this. This episode is notable because it was the first time the new opening title sequence featuring the World Trade Center was used. At the beginning of the show, that music comes on, that funky jazz piece. All right, and they show the monologue and they show the actors, right? But in this episode, like it says, season 2, so this was the first episode of season 2, they changed the front, all right, the front monologue of the show, and they featured the World Trade Center, like it says here. So this is not a coincidence, not at all. This thing has always been planned, man. 9/11, 2001 has always been planned. All right? This is not a coincidence. And I ran into this by it was the spirit. Because I'm sitting here watching it, and I noticed the date, September 11th, 1975. I said, wait a minute. And check out the name of the show, of the show. Doomsday. Doomsday, Season 2, Episode 1, the very first episode for Season 2. And it's a two-parter. And it's entitled Doomsday. And in the episode, this guy comes into the precinct strapped. Listen to this. This guy comes in the precinct strapped with dynamite around his waist, ready to blow up the precinct. You can't make this shit up, man. All right? Now, there's been some crazy episodes on Barney Miller, but that's got to be one of the craziest. Okay? They had one episode where myself and Apostle Tahar, we always talk about that episode. We always start cracking up. There's one episode where they arrest this guy, and the guy kept telling the members of the precinct, that he's going to change into a wolf after midnight or some shit like that. So they were all nervous, especially a character by the name of Wojo Horwitz. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. If you're familiar with the show, right? And he was the main one who was scared. He really thought the guy was going to turn into a werewolf. All right, that was a funny ass episode. But the episode, man, entitled Doomsday, premiered on September 11th, 1975. This episode is notable because it was the first time the new opening title sequence of the show featuring the World Trade Center was used, according to IMDb. This date is particularly significant because it was exactly 26 years before September 11th terrorist attacks. So that thing was always planned, man. Just another example to show you that 9/11/2001 was planned, man. Okay? The name of the show is Doomsday. Okay? Oh my goodness, man. Look at this. 49 years ago today, September 11th, 1975. It aired on ABC. Oh, yeah, that's back when ABC carried that show, Barney Miller. And I remember the show because I used to watch it. You know? Look at this. This is the episode here. Barney Miller Doomsday, TV episode, 1975. A disgruntled man wearing a belt of dynamite threatens to detonate himself and the squad room. Look at that. And that was the very first episode for season 2 where they use a new front featuring the World Trade Center. You can't make this shit up, man. Anyway, hopefully you found that interesting. See you in the next video.